Hello, I'm Toby Beach, and welcome to In Montgomery County. We take a look at our community that we call Montgomery County. As a parent, imagine how difficult it is not to be able to afford your child's basic school supplies, clothes to wear, or a pair of glasses so they can at least see the lesson. If it's difficult for you to think how difficult it is, imagine how it is for your child, how embarrassing it is for them. Sometimes all it has to do is take a school clothes or a pair of glasses to make a difference in a child's future. Joining me for this show is Amy Ginsburg, President and CEO of Neediest Kids, and Linda Bart, Student Services Specialist, Montgomery County Public School System. Welcome. You guys do a yeoman's job, and I know it's not just you guys. I mean, to help kids and do what you do and to make a difference in kids' lives is just tremendous. And I want to get that out right in the beginning. Amy, you first. What is Neediest Kids, and when and how did it start?
Neediest Kids is a nonprofit organization. We are in 10 different school districts in the DC metro area, and basically we provide kids with the basic essentials they need so they can get the education they deserve.
And WML was part of this originally, right?
They founded it 39 years ago as a holiday drive, and it just morphed into a full-fledged nonprofit organization.
And you've been with it a relatively short time.
All of 3 months. A great 3 months, though.
Well, and originally we met through Manna. You were involved with the Manna food system, right?
Correct.
And I tell you, you're gung-ho. In 3 months, it's amazing what you've accomplished in just 3 months. Montgomery County Public School, what's a student specialist? What is that?
A student services specialist.
Okay.
In the Department of Student Services, I'm the assistant to the director, and our unit, the Student Services unit, oversees counselors, psychologists, pupil personnel workers, homeschooling, home and hospital teaching, really anything that has to do with children. And I'm the assistant, and anytime there's a question that has to be answered concerning any of these areas, sometimes I get the question.
The buck falls here.
Sometimes, not all the time, just sometimes. But I'm involved in a lot of different things. If there's a crisis that occurs within the county, unfortunately, I'm one of the first people who gets notified. But that's a very hard part to do.
How long have you been involved with that now? What's been your tenure?
I've been the student services specialist for 2 years. Prior to that, I was a school counselor for many years, working with elementary age children.
So you kind of work from the ground up is what you've done.
Isn't that the way we all do it?
Oh, I am mostly. Yeah. Amy, let's talk about the need. We talk about providing things for kids. Let me play devil's advocate for a minute. We're in Montgomery County. What are you talking about? We don't have a need, or do we?
That's a common misperception. Actually, in Montgomery County, 1 out of every 3 children has needs. They qualify for a free or reduced price meal, which is an indicator of poverty. So about 30% of all our students in Montgomery County needs help.
But you wouldn't think that.
No, it's very surprising. In fact, we have some schools that have 80 and 90% farms rates.
How does that happen in Montgomery County? Is it just people are blind to it? Is it a function of the economy, or not? Is it just standard?
From the start of Montgomery County, there have always been needs. We've always had rich kids and poor kids, but as the economy has gotten worse, there are more and more children who need help.
What is the age, and how do you figure the age level to fit into some of these programs?
Neediest Kids helps anyone in K through 12.
So it's across the board. We have not talked about this. I'm going to blindside you here for a second. Is it more in the younger age, the older age, or does it not make a difference?
We serve kids in all grades. There are needs from everywhere from first graders to seniors in high school.
Then let's talk about identifying the need. How does that happen? Is it a combination of things? How is this need typically identified through the system?
First of all, it's my job to notify our MCPS, our Montgomery County Public Schools staff, for them to know that we have the funds from Neediest Kids. So at the beginning of the school year, I'm always reminding especially our counselors and our psychologists and our pupil personnel workers and other staff that work with children about the funds that we get from this fabulous organization. And throughout the year, these people contact me.
These people?
The counselors, the pupil personnel workers, the
Okay.
student services staff.
Okay.
They're working direct contact with the children. They're in direct contact with the teachers and the parents. So they know if there's a need for these, that these kids have.
So they identify the need, they pass it up?
Yes, they let me know, and I am the Santa Claus. I give the money out. They're my little elves, and they tell me the situation, and then I give them the purchase order, a gift card that they can go and spend give to the parents to spend for these children.
Okay, and understand this through your system. So how is this money raised from Neediest Kids? How do you go about getting this?
We have many generous and wonderful donors. We have a golf tournament every year in May. We also have benefits, a fun run with Alan Webb, and many, many generous corporations who give us funds.
But I mean, it's two sides of this, because it's not just the cash, but it's also the in-kind, correct?
Correct. We also work with an organization called Kids in Distress, and through them we get $500,000 worth of clothes every year that we can distribute to all the school systems.
I just jotted down some numbers here, and this is for school year 09 to 2010. It was interesting. Purchases amounted to $294,000 in change, and the in-kind amounted to just a little bit more than that, $315,000, for a total of $609,000 and change. So it really is pretty well split between cash and in-kind. Is that correct?
It is, but it's a little deceptive because with our cash purchases, we work with vendors who give us a substantial discount. So we're able to turn $1 into $4 worth of goods.
And so really the value of those goods are worth a lot more than what you see in the numbers.
Very
then.
much so.
I also looked, and on the purchase side, it was interesting. The top three, in fact, the top one were new clothes, which I wouldn't have thought. And then eyeglasses and school supplies was second and third. New clothes. Kids don't have clothes to go to school in.
Many students are wearing the same pair of jeans every day. They need a new winter coat. If they don't have a coat, they may not come to school at all. They may not go out for recess. They need new shoes. And while there are many wonderful organizations where you can donate clothes and where parents can get clothes for their kids, there's something dignified about getting a new coat or getting the pair of jeans that you pick out.
Well, and I want to be specific about this. Linda, this is to you. You give them a voucher, and they take the voucher to the school, to the store, to actually empower them to buy their own clothes.
Yes, that's one part of it, absolutely.
That's
that is a big part of it. But like Amy said before, we get new clothing too. Sometimes I get a call or an email from the people at Neediest Kids, and they say, Linda, we've got a certain amount of money that you can go out and purchase new clothes, or you can buy winter clothes. Just recently they said, we can get you some new coats. And I told them the number of coats I needed, what schools needed it, what kids needed, and they went out and got us brand new coats.
Yeah, but what I think is nice about this is the empowering of the children to get their clothes. You know, it's something about a child and a parent to go out and actually purchase their clothes. And I think that's important. It's, again, I use the word empowering. Wouldn't it a good way to look at that?
It is. Just picture a little third grader who gets to have the purple notebook she really wants, or the high schooler to be able to get the jacket he really wants. It makes for a much more excited, much more engaged student.
I talked off camera about the movie Blindside, and Michael Orr, who was wearing the same clothes, and most of us have seen it. And it's the kind of thing where when he had his own clothes, he was able to sit back, and just wearing his own clothes made a big difference into his educational life. And I think that's what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Eyeglasses. I mean, where they can't see the board, and to get a pair of eyeglasses, that's an incredible, I mean, you're changing their education.
Absolutely. A pair of eyeglasses can change a child's life.
And that can make a big difference too. I want to talk about the funding. There's a lot of interesting things about the partners you work with and the funding. And again, the idea of having a coat avoids the bullying process and what it does, and also can break poverty too, which can make a big difference. Got a lot more to cover in the second segment. We are going to take a short break. In the second segment of the show, we're going to continue to look at how the Neediest Kids to Bridge to Success program can make a difference in a child's life. Stay with us.
name's Eddie Metcalf. I enjoy working in my yard, and you know, I can't do that anymore because I'm missing most of my lung. They did a CAT scan of my kidneys. No more kidney stones, that's the good news, but we found a spot on your lung. That frankly scared the hell out of me. I hadn't smoked in 22 years. How could this happen to me? He said, well, you know about radon gas. Well, you know, I heard about it. He said, well, the second leading cause of cancer in America is radon. 22,000 people a year die from this. I literally left the doctor's office, got a test kit, put it in the house, and our result was 39.8. The upper limit is 4. We got to get this fixed. That was on a Monday, and on Wednesday, our mitigation system was up and running. Well, I think everybody should have their house tested. We'd never known we'd still be living there. I could get another tumor from it, but right now it's changing my life.
Now is our time to work as one. To create something beautiful. To start again. To ease a burden. To provide hope where there was none. There's so many ways to create the good. What will you do?
Start creating the good by visiting iparticipate.org.
Before I was diagnosed, I was
doing typical stuff.
Basketball for fun, football
practice.
Mother of 2 young boys.
Took a blood test.
Kayla has leukemia.
Acute leukemia. Myeloma. Hodgkin's disease.
There's nothing worse in the world than this scared.
Who's going to take care of my kids?
I called the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society.
Cancer needs a community. I know I'm not alone.
It's you who are the support.
It's giving people that hope.
With your help, I can be cured.
With your help, we can beat blood cancers.
Be there to give them hope.
To get or give help, go to lls.org.
Welcome back to Montgomery County. We've been talking with Amy Ginsburg, President and CEO of Neediest Kids, and Linda Bart, Student Service Specialist, Montgomery County Public School System. You know, this population in the 30-some years I've been here, I have seen it grow along with traffic. But the population's become a lot more diverse. And you know, you got more and more kids do this. Amy, to you, how do you handle diversity? Does it make a difference or not?
It doesn't. A kid in need is a kid in need. It doesn't matter where you're from or what color your skin is.
Do you find that there are cultural differences where maybe parents don't want to have this and they're embarrassed by this or not?
Well, maybe I could answer that. I really don't know, Toby, because I only get people getting in touch with me who wants to help the families.
Yeah.
So I really don't know that. But we have helped so many different children. I mean, children throughout all of the county. We know that there's different ethnic backgrounds in various parts of the county. But I never know who is who. You know, when someone asks for money or help for a child, every child's a child.
Well, and Amy, coming from Manna and now here, really, at one point you made to me before, there's not a stigma with helping your child get a better education.
Never, never. Helping your child get a better education is the key to breaking out of the cycle of poverty, and I think parents understand that.
We're going to bring up those pictures, Ming, please. We'll take a look at these. There we go. Go ahead.
You want us to just
go ahead.
Well, in a picture that we're seeing right here, the counselor is talking with the child, trying to find out what is going on in their lives, and by looking and talking with the child, they can find out how they can help them. Here's some new clothing what we've received from Neediest Kids.
This is actually going shopping, isn't it?
Going shopping at Our Eyes. That boy's about to pick out the glasses that he wants.
And they're a big sponsor, aren't they?
Our Eyes is one of our biggest partners. Wonderful. And there he's getting an eye exam right at the Our Eyes, and a child picking out the clothes that he wants.
I think that's absolutely fantastic.
Safeway is another one of our big partners, which is especially important for families who need food or personal care items. And school supplies, of course, is a huge need. Some school districts require their students to wear uniforms, and we also work with campus outfitters so that those students can get uniforms.
And all our children are now able to do the work that they need to do within a school because they come to school ready to learn.
Yeah, good
And
point.
as you can see, we got happy children. That's what we want. Happy, wonderful, ready to learn children. And thanks to Neediest Kids, we get these happy kids.
It's got to be incredible for the teachers because now all of a sudden these kids have clothes and they have glasses and they can take a look and see. So it's got to be a big advantage for the classroom with teachers here.
Absolutely. I mean, the teachers can't teach children when they're constantly thinking about the fact that they're embarrassed by what they're wearing or they're hungry. I mean, we have given so much money for families to go and be able to buy food. They're able to come to school and their tummies are full.
Well, and the thing also too, Amy, to you, I mean, I don't want to minimize this because when you're actually talking about a kid's education, you're actually making a direct relationship on breaking that cycle of poverty.
Absolutely. Montgomery County offers a stellar education, but it can be for naught if a child can't see the whiteboard or if she doesn't go to school because she doesn't have the proper shoes or a winter coat. So if you don't meet those basic needs, you can't get the education that is going to lift you out of poverty.
To either one, I guess first, Linda, the parents. I mean, it's identified either one of two ways, by the students or those teachers or the parents. They actually can also come in with a need with you too. Is that correct?
Yeah, but we don't really advertise to the community that we have these funds.
Mm-hmm.
It's really about the relationship between the student and their counselor, the student and a pupil personnel worker who may go also to a meeting about these children or hear from the teachers, you know, we've got this child in our school and they're, you know, I see them wearing the same clothes every day. I see that they're tattered. How can we help them? So then we, the staff in Montgomery County, can go and talk to the family, see if they want the help. It's always an option.
Well, and again, we brought out earlier that you go to the parents, you know, they want the best for their kids.
Absolutely.
And so to get a voucher for them, it makes a big difference to the parents because they know it's for their kids' education.
Absolutely. And we have, you know, I hear such horrific stories, such sad stories, what people are going through. I mean, today I got an email requesting money for food because the mother came in and says, all I have left in my pantry is a bag of flour. I mean, or we hear of families who are suffering through job losses, that the mother has cancer, that there's a child within the same family who has a degenerative disease. And they can't, money is difficult. So if we can help them by letting them go out and buy some new clothes or get some food or a new pair of glasses or go for an eye exam, how wonderful is this?
But I also, we talk about enabling. I mean, you're limited on what you can do because you're not enabling this.
No, not at all. And we don't give repetitive amounts of money to the same family. We really try to wean it, meaning that we try to give families once a year. And the counselors and the pupil personnel workers, the student support, all the staff, they know this. And so we monitor that pretty closely.
Funding. How do you do this?
We have many, many fabulous donors. Without them, we couldn't do it. It's that simple. Some of our most powerful partners are our vendors, such as Our Eyes, Safeway, Staples, Campus Outfitters, Target, and we work with them to get discounts so we can stretch our dollars as far as possible and help as many kids as possible.
It's not here, but I saw the need over the past couple of years. It's escalating. Is that, I asked earlier about a sign of the economy. Is that because of the economy or are there other factors involved?
I'm sure it is because of the economy. Montgomery County is a very expensive place to live in. It takes an income of about $60,000 for a family to be self-sufficient. And that's a big chunk of change. And so there are a lot of people out there who need help.
I'm sure somebody will come up and say to either one of you two, well, doesn't the school and the PTA pay for this? I mean, isn't that a common misconception?
Many people think that, and maybe that was true one day in the past, 20 years ago. But PTAs are strapped, school budgets are strapped, and for many of these children, unless Neediest Kids is there to step in, that student won't have the calculator so he can master algebra. He won't have the school supplies that will enable her to finish a science project.
Linda, you hear the stories, both the negative side, but you got to see a lot of the positive results too, I would imagine.
We always see positive results.
That's got to be incredible.
Oh my gosh, the stories that I hear. I mean, recently, through Neediest Kids, a family got a couple of beds for their children. They were sleeping on blow-up mattresses, and hearing that the children can come to school the next day, they're not tired. They're excited about coming to school, and the kids who are so excited about their new coats or their new clothing that they get, it's just very powerful, truly.
Well, and I want to ask you both the same question. Challenges. We didn't talk about this, but where are you finding the challenges in all this? What's the challenges too?
Ever-growing need. We can raise as many as millions of dollars of funds, but there will still be need that will go unmet in the 10 school districts that we serve.
Well, let's talk about it. It's not just Montgomery County.
No, we're in 10 different school districts throughout the DC metro area.
Do you find that the need is pretty equal around the area? Does it change or not?
It's surprisingly equal. Well, certainly there's greater need in places like Prince George's County in Washington, D.C., Fairfax County, Arlington, Montgomery, Fairfax. They're about 1 in every 3 children can use Neediest Kids help.
Challenges. I asked Amy, give me the challenges. Can't help everybody?
Well, we try. These people are wonderful people. If I'm low on money, I sort of call them up and I go, we could use a little bit more. And it's surprising. I don't know. They're able to find it.
Will that work with me too?
Yeah, I know. That's what But the challenges are hearing the stories and deciding, is this something that we should be providing for or not? For instance, people whose electricity, they can't pay for their electricity. Well, we can't pay for everybody's electricity every month. If it's 1 month, we can get them through it, but we can't keep, ongoing. Or if someone says to me, Linda, we can't pay, the parent can't pay for their child's attention deficit hyperactivity disorder medicine. Can Neediest Kids pay it? Well, we can pay 1 month, but we talk about enabling. Yeah. That's a real enabling. We don't get into that. We can help you with 1 month, but that's about it.
So the challenge is, want to help more, can't? What do you find the challenges are?
Well, the challenges are for me, making sure that I'm addressing those needs that will have a direct effect on the education of a child so that they can come to school and have the willing and wanting and able to learn. So, and again, the challenge would be to not give to enable a family.
Well, I don't know how I do that. I don't, because you'd want to be able to help everybody you can, but you have to identify what's going to make a difference in the education. That's a key.
Yeah.
To do that.
Well, that's their goal. We follow whatever Neediest Kids wants us to do.
Well, now I want to bring up. We've only got a couple minutes left, but portal. What's a portal?
We have an award-winning portal, which is basically a computer system where the school personnel who really do all the on-the-ground work, they notice Johnny needs new eyeglasses or somebody needs shampoo, and they type in a few bits of information into the computer and outspits a purchase order. We work very hard to make things non-bureaucratic and very quick.
Thank yous. I mean, you guys cannot do this by yourselves. Thank yous.
First, MCPS, we couldn't do it without them. And our vendor partners, Safeway, Target, Campus Outfitters, I know I'm forgetting some. Our Eyes, thank you. And also our financial sponsors. Safeway also holds a Neediest Kids Funds Drive for us every holiday season. Booz Allen Hamilton is a wonderful sponsor. We also have the Brickman Group, Corestone Capital, Sparks. So we have many, many donors who we're grateful. We're grateful to them.
Couldn't do it without them, could you?
Absolutely not.
Montgomery County Public School System.
Oh my goodness. I have to just thank the fabulous counselors and fabulous pupil personnel workers, our linkages to learning staff members, our parent educators who are the ones who find the families, who know about these children, letting me know so that we can help them.
Where do you want this to go, Aim?
I want us to grow and grow so we really can meet every kid's need, because we are meeting real needs and we're giving them immediate help that has a lasting impact.
But the impact, the idea is you're breaking, at least putting a nail in the coffin for the poverty side, because these kids, they want to learn, but the idea is a new pair of clothes or a pair of eyeglasses can make a big difference for them to sit back and actually do it.
It can change your life.
And I think that can really make a difference, and I'm sure the parents are very grateful too. It's a great relationship between you two. There's
The best.
no question about that.
We love them.
Well, and again, it's the teachers, it's the students, it's the parents identifying the need, and you have the negative stories, but then you have the positive results, and I think it makes a big difference. Thank you both for coming.
Oh,
Thank you.
We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
In the school year 2009-2010, the Neediest Kids program, Bridge to Success, served over 13,000 students with goods and services in 10 school systems. As I said, it couldn't have done it without the partners, sponsors, donors, teachers, and many, many hardworking people, especially my two guests on the show. One can only imagine the positive impact on those students' future. Hopefully this discussion has helped you all understand a little bit more about a community we call Montgomery County. We welcome suggestions for topics on our show, and you can email us care of inmontgomerycounty@yahoo.com. We'll see you next time.